guys, it's Elizabeth here from Neverland Creative, and today I'm going to be doing a 6x8 story layout using a couple of different products. As you can see, we're starting off in Photoshop, and I just made actually two 6x8 canvases, because that's the size that I'm going to be making this project, is 6x8, and I'm doing a double spread, so a double page layout. So I just adjusted my pages so that I could kind of see them side by side, because these pages, I want them to look very similar. So I just chose a photo and made it the full size of the 6x8. And at first, I was actually going to do a 6x8 photo on one side and then a ton of journaling on the other side, but I decided to go with a different direction, which you will see in a second. I'm actually going to add another photo on the right side of the layout. And in case you're wondering, the photo on the left is a picture of my husband and his dad when my husband was obviously very little. That's one of my favorite pictures of the two of them. And on the right side, it's a picture of my husband and our daughter. And as you can see, that picture on the left is a really old photo. There's a lot of glare going on. So I'm just trying to adjust the colors and the size to kind of cover the imperfections of the photo, but also make it a little brighter and more of the same color as the picture on the right, to make them a similar color, because the one on the left was really yellowish. And as you can see, I just added a stamp, a digital stamp from Ali Edwards' Old and New collection, but that actually doesn't end up staying, and this is going to be showing you how much I changed my mind for this layout. So instead of having a full 6x8 on one side and then a smaller photo on the other side, I decided to make both photos the same size, which is 3.75 inches by 8.1. And the reason why it's a little bit more than just 8 inches is I just like a little bit taller photo in my page protectors. If you do it exactly 6x8, the layout doesn't go completely up to the top, and that's one of my pet peeves, is to have too much of the plastic appearing on the top. So that's my weird peeve that you just found out about me. So right now I am centering the text, and I just create a text box by dragging the cursor while pressing Shift. And as you can see, I already have my journaling written. I think I do a few edits to it, but that's pretty much my journaling for that side of the layout. The Remember All the Love is from the Bond Story Kit. That's a digital stamp that Ali has available for the Bond Story Kit. And I knew that I wanted to leave some room up above the title, because that's what I'm thinking of the stamp as, is the title. So I knew that I wanted to leave some room above the title and the journaling to have some embellishments. So I'm going to do that on the right side of the layout as well. I'm going to pick out another phrase, also a digital stamp from the Bond Story Kit, and that one says, love the special connection right here. And at first I was a little bit hesitant to use that one because it has a vastly different font than the title on the left side, but I decided that I just like the phrase so much, and I can't really copy Ali's handwriting, so I decided that that title was perfect, and that it really went with what I was trying to journal, so that is the one that I went with. So here you can see both of those layouts side by side, and that's pretty much how I printed them. I printed the photos by themselves as 3.75 inches by 8.1, and I just put those photos on one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, printed them out, and then printed the journaling separately on a piece of cardstock. Well, 2 pieces of cardstock. But that's pretty much my layout, and now we're going to head to my desk and finish it up. Alright, so as you can see, I have both of those photos printed out on 8.5 by 11 photo paper, and I'm just going to be cutting those out. I'm just checking to see if the size matches up with my previous layout that I did, which you've probably seen the process video of. And as you can see on my journaling, it was supposed to print out with crop marks so that I could easily just cut my journaling into a 6x8 piece of paper, and it would have taken like 2 seconds. But for some reason, I can't figure out how to get my printer to print out crop marks. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing wrong. I've looked up a couple of tutorials, but if you guys have any tips on how to make sure that your printer actually prints out crop marks so you don't have to do what I just did and use various pieces of other paper to give yourself a guide, that would be very much appreciated. So as you can see, I have both layouts pretty much figured out. I kind of know the placement of everything that I want, and I am going to add this little piece of paper from the Felicity Jane Joy kit, which was their December kit. And one side of that paper is red, which works really well with my left side of my layout, and then the other side is pink, which works really well for the right side. So I just cut a tiny piece of that paper, and I'm going to use that as kind of like a background for each of my photos just to finish things off and add a little pop of color, because it really kind of felt pretty bland to me. As you can see, I'm making sure that the paper is straight, but of course it's not. So I'm trying to take it up again and making it more straight, but it doesn't end up working. And when I try to do it again, some of the paper actually comes up, and I decide that it's not worth the hassle, and I'm just going to stick my photo on there and call it a day. Alright, so as you can see, I did leave a little bit more space with that red cardstock than I thought I was going to, so I did have to trim up my photo just a teensy bit, but it actually worked out quite well, and it didn't interfere with cutting off half of my husband's arm or anything like that. So I just really liked that pop of color. I thought that the layout really needed that. So on this side of the layout, I'm going to add a couple of embellishments, and I'm going to start off with that black and white diagonal circle shape, which is from the Ali Edwards Fabric Story Kit, and thankfully it does have adhesive on the back, even though it's kind of hard to take it off, but I finally get it. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to layer this chipboard circle with a heart in it, which the reds totally match, which I loved. That is from a very old Studio Calico kit called Hello Forever. I believe that's somewhere in 2015. And then I finish it off by adding this wood veneer that says Good Stuff, and that's from Gossamer Blue. So as I said before, these two layouts are very much connected. One is about my husband's relationship with his dad, and then the other is about my husband and my daughter and their relationship that they have. So I wanted these two layouts to look very similar, not the same exactly, but very similar. So I'm going to use some glue runner to attach the pink side of that Felicity Jane paper as the background for my photo, which worked really well with my daughter's dress that she's wearing because it's pink. And I actually thought the red worked really well with my father-in-law's shirt. It was kind of an orangey red, so that kind of works perfectly there. And for my embellishments, I'm going to add another of the Fabric Story Kit circles in white with, I believe those are black crosses, I think, yes. So I'm going to put that as my base, and I'm going to add this little chipboard shape from Ali's February Stories by the Month kit, and it has a really pretty pink heart on there. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add this wood veneer piece, this little arrow, and that is going to finish my layout. Alright, so if you liked this process video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. I post process videos for my project life, for my 6x8 story albums, and so much more. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day!